as you can see, Chud's face is wet, but not malformed. I think that he has had enough experience around trans people that he should know better. I'm not here to hate, okay? I'm merely here because I think he needs an intervention. I think the gawk has gone to his brain. I think that he is maybe not 24/7, but like maybe like 20 hours, 7 days a week. He is thinking about gawk and ashamed. Not saying he's thinking of it in a sexy way, but I'm pretty sure he's haunted by it. So he could be disgusted, but he's definitely haunted. So of course you can see the beginning of Pride Month. He has his little pride flag. He's going on like trans stuff and people pushing trans stuff. And so I asked if maybe his evolution in his takes on trans people could be influenced by the fact that he was caught sexting a trans person. You know? So then he kind of crashed out for like 10 minutes, and then I asked him if he believes that he was groomed by trans people into being sexually attracted to a trans person, and that he would not answer even a little. This is what shame does to a person. They start spiraling. They start like looking for outside answers as to how this thing could have happened in a way that takes the burden off of them, the humiliation. And I think that, he really did this to himself because he encouraged the gawk memes. He's like, yes, gawk, 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 AGP gawk, whatever, right? That was his thing, his cope. But like, he is ashamed of it. And he says he's a quote unquote recovering chaser, but I think the recovering chaser aspect of it is kind of like falling off the lore. And I think that we need to keep that lore alive for context. If he's going to go out, he's going to be talking about how trans people do this or that, whatever. You got to own your history. People should know that you may have, and by may, I mean, you definitely have external factors that are influencing your now opinion. There's some kind of cognitive dissonance if you will laugh at like minors for falling for like a vampire werewolf cult, and think that's funny, but then also like unironically think that you were groomed into being sexually attracted to a trans person by the internet in your 30s. Where's the personal responsibility here? I think, we are flexible. We do adapt to our environments. And it's okay if you just gooned with some gawk. Like, that's fine. Okay? But now it's like the issue, it's like, I feel like the agitation in the clam is creating a transphobic pearl, and it's not very pretty.
Right, guys. Okay, so we've kicked off Pride Month with a little bit of gay tent. We're gonna be calling it. Okay.
We are going.
Now,
is there a new segment called Gay Tent? Gay Tent. Let's go.
Now, obviously, I'm sure you guys have been sat there waiting patiently because of certain baseless rumors that endlessly swirl about me. I'm sure you've been waiting for the trans tent. And I've got 2 pieces of trans tent lined up.
Okay? Let's go. Trans tent.
So the first one we're going to look at is a more serious video, which is talking about issues in the trans community. And then we've got some what looks to be very interesting AGP analysis.
Okay.
On a target that I think doesn't really get that much attention on this topic.
Which is ConjurePoints, I'm sure. Maybe does he have something against ConjurePoints? Like, does he think that, was he a victim of hers? Potentially? just make his camera a little bigger.
But having followed their career obviously very closely, because I love Gok, am I right, guys? Gok, ha ha, Gok. I think there's probably a point to be made there. But in the meantime, guys, I'm just going to do a quick chill.
This is another, okay, AGP stuff, autogynephilia stuff. We'll see more about it. But as far as I can see people's engagement with it, they're like, oh, people getting turned on privately by themselves. I mean, we'll get into it when it comes up. Chud is going to say some very transphobic stuff and be hyping up and queening extremely transphobic content creators. Like, not like a little bit, but like, you know, they're saying all the things, right? So it's more like just bearing witness to the coagulating denial. So we're not going to go over Chud's old drama or anything. Like, that's his business. It was whatever he was. I don't remember. At the time, it's just cringe to look at anyone sexting. And it was, if anything, boring, I think. He was not groomed, but he wasn't actually groomed. But you'll see what he feels about it. I feel like this is the seed of a very transphobic plant that might bloom. I hope it doesn't. Because it would be a very stupid thing to, like, change your ideology over. You know what I mean? My personal opinion is that if outside circumstances and people and the way people treat you can change your principles, what you believe is, like, right, moral, reasonable, if other people's treatment of you and not your growing understanding of, like, the functions of the world, if that moves you, then I think you're weak. So basically, I guess I'm not going to really pay attention so much to what this guy is saying about Lily Tino, because I don't know who Lily Tino is, and I forget who this guy is. I'm just going to pay attention to Chud's reactions to it.
It's exceptionally outlandish and absurd that this is the level that we're at. You got some utter queer in drag saying this stuff.
Who cares?
And we're just supposed to just, like, not have an issue with it. And it's like,
why do you have to? Okay, is this person? Yes, the kind of person that would trigger lots of people, right? Why are you looking at this random person with such disgust? They seem perfectly nice. And if they're weird in private, then they're weird in private. You know how many fucking people I've met who are very weird in public? Yeah, they seem fun. They seem like they'd be fun on a night out. Who cares? What, is their eye makeup making you self-conscious because you don't have those same skills?
Like, if you've got a problem or you think it's a bit odd or you think it's unusual, you got a comment to make about it, you're a bigot. To be fair, I think the Trump administration has, you know, come in. There's more pressing concerns there that are worthy.
Yeah, they're not exposing themselves. They're, like, literally just... They're just like, hey, people can be trans. Cool.
Woman.
The Trump administration and transphobes would love to have you believe that being trans is...
Like, they're rock climbing on a mountain. That's so based. Cool. Here's the thing. This message isn't for us. We're not the target audience for this. Chud is not the target audience for this. But there are all kinds of people out there who are. So it's not your business. Move along. True. Behold, I've scoured the corners of the World Wide Web to bring you the most cringe trans person on the internet to bond over our shared disgust. Yes, there is this like, okay, you can cringe at them, right? You can do whatever you want, but it's crazy to me. It's crazy to be just a random guy that has nothing to do with any of this being like, and we're supposed to, they think that we should accept this? This fully clothed, up to the neck, hat-wearing person on the side of a mountain, showing pictures of fish on the screen? Real friendly? No, this has gone too far. Everyone is cringe to someone, okay? I personally find this behavior to be very soy, very cringe. It is moral panic. It's like these people think that we have to accept this. This has gone too far. Too far from what?
Got a problem, or you think it's a bit odd, or you think it's unusual, you got a comment to make about it.
I think there's a difference between a problem and unusual. Problem means that you have to do something about it. What do you want to do about this? Unironically, President Sunday's old thumbnail. What are you going to do about it, Chudlogic? Huh?
You're a transphobic bigot, correct. If LGBT people want to maybe try and find a way to move forward, they've got to like wrap their heads around the fact that their whole mentality and view and what they've pushed and the things they're trying to put in front of us and act like there's nothing to question.
Ask your questions. You're asking questions right now. Ask them explicitly. What is it explicitly? Not just, look, this is a problem. Look, problem. What do you want to do about it? Who cares? There are lots of things that I don't like or think are strange. I don't need to come on stream yap about it in a way that is like personally affecting me, clearly. But doesn't he love Gawk? Like, I guess, you know, the opposite of love is not hate. Yeah, people can't get trans by teachers. See, if that is a thing that you think, I don't know how that's even happening. I'd like some examples. Actually, I wouldn't like an example because I'm not going to have this argument. Again, if you could turn people trans, you could probably turn them not trans. And that seems like that's not working. And just like, you know, you can't groom someone into being sexually attracted to someone. And therefore, also, as we know, gay conversion therapy does not work. Yeah, it's the right doing culture war stuff. Yeah, if people weren't fear-mongering about it, there wouldn't be this, like, there wouldn't have to be such a push towards, like, he acknowledges that there is an issue with the right and going after trans people.
And I wish I'd got it together. I didn't have time to get it together today. But when you just sit down and look at the absolute insanity that has been pushed and attempted to be normalized.
Did he make a PowerPoint of cringe trans people?
Things from like, you know, drag shows for kids to like kink at Pride. And, you know, the example I was thinking of.
The kink at Pride discourse was so immensely cursed. Wearing sandals in public. Your partner has a foot fetish. And there are kids around. You know, all that. All that. I almost spat my drink at sandals. That was literally the discourse.
And it was this old homosexual guy in tighty whities twerking at a Pride event, and there were just like loads of kids milling about.
And that's fucking weird. That's weird. And
a reasonable person is going to see it as an utter affront to their sensibilities. It's diabolical. Yes, it is totally diabolical, you know? And it's kind of like the frog thing, the boiling frog, right? Over time, slowly,
frog in a pot of boiling water.
Pushed to the point where now the frog is jumping out the water and you're sat there wondering, like, God, why does everyone fucking hate us so much, you know?
That's not how it works. The thing is that you slowly turn up the heat so the frog is cooked and doesn't have a chance to jump out.
And now it's not just like, you know, virulent homophobes and anti-LGBT people that hate this stuff. It's like normies. Normies are sick of this shit as well.
They're just like me. I'm sick and tired. I'm going to tell the neighborhood association. Yeah,
Maybe.
it's not in front of you unless you look for it. And then your algorithm feeds it to you. That's just how it is.
Well, even the surgeries don't.
What is this fucking loser's voice? What a whiny, nasally cunt. What is that?
That's not humans, though.
Yeah, the only downside with this guy is
He sounds like an AI, but the voice is too unappealing to be AI.
his voice, unfortunately. Like, you know, annoying. But other than that, hopefully it's good.
There are a lot of differences between the sexes. I mean, I don't think I've seen an analogy this bad since the croissant analogy.
If trans women aren't women, then is this big croissant not a croissant?
Oh my god. I don't know this person. I've heard that they suck. I don't know anything about them. And since it's this person's video, I'm not taking anything for anything. I'm just focusing on Chud's reactions, okay?
They're talking about sex in the context of a croissant.
And then a bunch of activists started inserting themselves into everything and saying, you have to treat us how we demand you treat us, or you lose your job. This sort of extortionist behavior is why people are mad at the LGBT crowd.
I'm actually non-binary and use they them pronouns. I definitely could see that. In the best way possible, you look like you'd be non-binary. Slay, they. You realize that isn't a compliment, right?
Who cares? This is like, this is crazy to me. I'm sorry. It's just like I've been kind of not paying attention to the anti-people, you know, anti-human rights people for a while. So like seeing it presented is kind of like, wow, it's been a minute. I remember this. But yeah, so that makes sense. Someone being like, hey, telling someone that they look like they'd be non-binary because they think that it's like cool is not a compliment. Educational. Problem?
Dude, they're now upset at people affirming their gender identity in a way that they don't exactly like. Wait, dude, what?
Chud hates education. Okay, guys?
Isn't that just a commentary on the fact that you look like a, you know, some sort of disgusting wretch that you can't, you know, that you're clearly trying to...
Or
Yes, it is. Yeah, sure. I'm being a bit facetious. Yes, a crazy thing to say to someone. Okay, but, however, that being said, you have got to accept that if you present yourself to the world in a way that, you know, substantively conflicts with our
also,
expectations.
has he ever been in a major city? I feel like Chud's just telling us he's never been cool and living in a major city.
Right? Like, if I went out tomorrow wearing a dress, I'd get looks and comments.
Because you're so beautiful. You would be just a beautiful woman strutting on the street. Call him Sweet Pea.
I mean, the Bo Blacks thing is a great example of this, right? Bo Blacks looks like an autistic dude, started putting a dress on, and people were like, what the fuck? He's got a dress on. Because it's so contesting to our norms of how we expect someone like Bo Blacks to dress, you know? I'm crashing out, sorry, don't ban me. Well, Babka, you're a ContraPoints fan, right?
Babka.
Let's just say, I don't think you're going to like the next segment either, so be warned.
I don't think he liked the next segment, to be honest.
men want to be with her. No, they don't. Straight men don't. The second they find out you're trans, you're gonna get ghosted.
This video is for straight men and straight men only. I'm sorry, but how in the world?
Oh no, here we go. Oh no, guys. Go on, get your fucking jokes ready. Come
Do
on.
you not like me? Yes, I'm a trans
Why?
woman. I'm a doll. Like, what is so different about dating me than a cis woman?
The problem is, and this is the, you know...
What's the problem? Tell us the problem.
You can tell.
Okay.
You can tell.
I can tell that we are all on our own journey to be, you know, I aim to, as I get older, I just aim to be the most, you know, good version of who I am, where I'm at. Am I the best I'm gonna be? I don't think so. I hope not. That doesn't make what I am right now trash, okay? Just like Chud is on his own gender affirming journey by taking finasteride, okay? That is his gender affirming journey, and I support it, okay? I support it. You're gonna get shit, like everyone's going to get shit. The problem is that trans people, as we can see here, are getting a disproportionate, undue amount of shit. And if that extra sack of shit was not there, then we could just be shitty to everybody equally. And there won't be there's this extra fuel, there's extra propulsion, so that when you throw things at certain people, there's like it's like throwing a piece of cheese in the middle of the room, and all the rats come and gobble it down, start eating the flesh of the person in the center. It's like a lot of people would find this behavior to be very like unattractive. I mean, like, I don't know. I don't know who's like looks at this vibe and is like, oh yeah, that's my shit there.
And the way that they're talking.
Wow, you clocked them. Cool, good for you.
They don't come across as a cisgendered woman, or like a normal woman, I should say, right? A woman.
He used the slur, the cis slur. Gotta backtrack. Say, oh no, I didn't say he can't let anyone know that he said the cis slur. Okay. Like, oh, I take it back. Normal woman, real woman.
Who has taken on the appearance of a woman using certain medical procedures as like a simulacra.
That also, calling someone a simulacra of a woman is also a choice.
Like a simulacra pretending to be a woman.
Did you notice the narcissistic, I'm so great behavior?
Okay, I mean, it's just such an obvious fucking point, dude.
Okay, that's wonderful. But how do I make...
Yeah, like everything out, like, yeah. That was an obvious thing that the guy said, as well as all the other things he said before. That was too far for Chud, right? He was like, well, that's not reasonable. But all the other stuff, he was like, yes, got a point. Oh, yeah. Yeah, this is the twerking dude. Very fucking weird.
Remember this? Oh, yeah. This is the exact clip I did. You were expected to just accept this without question, bro.
By whom? Who are you answering to? Who's making you do what?
This is what was being pushed. This is what people are talking about when they say kink at Pride. It's some old, fat, ugly, gay guy prancing about in tighty whities.
Why?
But how do I...
Why is this Pride? Like, of all the things, all the performances, all the celebration, this guy?
It's from an anti-farmer, anti-alpha male account on Facebook. There's no original Today USA I could find.
That's Chud in 5 years.
Yeah, I think he's fallen for bait. I don't think I'm going to finish that video, man. I thought it was going to be different. We're going to skip to the ContraPoints AGP analysis. We hadn't litigated kink at Pride yet. Well, I wanted to have more footage ready.
Okay. He's gathering footage for kink at Pride. Cool. So we have some future trans tent from Chud to look forward to reviewing, of course.
If you can link some clips, we'll throw some up quickly.
Give me some weird, cringe, gay and trans people, just real quick. Just people, chat in general. Hey, you got any gay cringe?
For now, I think I'm going to skip to the AGP ContraPoints video.
Let's go. After we go through this, we can see what you think he thinks about being groomed.
It is obvious that autogynephilia exists, and it does account for a large proportion.
Why are you saying yes? Cool. All right. What does that mean? What does this mean for you? What does that mean for you? I don't know what that does, but okay. He's so excited.
A large proportion of biological males who identify as trans. Why am I so confident in saying that?
Okay, I was worried this was going to be some sort of woke fella that was going to deny AGP. But it's all good. He's on the right track. We're laughing. AGP, 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 AGP. This is like the real...
This is like, I don't know. I guess he thinks it's a gay chat, but let's be honest. Like, oh my god, you know what this reminds me of? Oh my god. Okay, when Salvo Pancakes, when Red Bar sent Salvo Pancakes to Deaf Noodle's Comedy Club to take over, right? And they couldn't start the show. They were trying to hype up the crowd, so the crowd starts going, fuck Deaf Noodles, fuck Deaf Noodles. So then Deaf Noodles and his buddies start saying it too. Right? Here's Chud. AGP, AGP. No, we're saying it because of you. Like, that's why if the leaks never happened, no one would be saying Gawk. No one would be saying AGP. You cannot dissociate that.
Philosophy Tube finally fucking got out of all the queer shit and started speaking some truth.
Because that conclusion is based...
Like, here's the thing. Why does this resonate with you so much? We know why. Just because you feed into it, like, he can't escape it. He only delayed the reckoning, where he has to reconcile with the agency he had when he was sexually interested and sexting with a trans person, okay? That's there, and it's fine. It doesn't make you bi to give it a try. That's my new motto, okay? Having panicking that you might not be straight, might not be cis. You don't have to be bi to give it a try. And reconcile with your penis.
Reconcile with your penis. Reconcile with your penis.
Do you have the clip of Chud saying a trans woman with bottom surgery is like an angel with clipped wings? No. I haven't saved any of Chud's, like, AGP Gawk stuff because I, like, kind of felt, like, bad for him that he had to deal with so much of it because, you know, obviously it bothers him. But now that he's, like, actually starting to do trans tent, it is what it is. This entire thing is just... Did you know that trans people are trans?
There's no overlap.
Who says there's no overlap? People are just saying that the AGP, like, proclaiming people AGP is not like a recognized thing. It's an outdated thing. Problem?
Significantly, even ContraPoints concedes that autogynephilia clearly exists.
There definitely are men who get turned on by wearing women's
Whoa! This must be old ContraPoints, right? This is before the Patreon was stacked and the estrogen was flowing, I'm guessing.
But the question of whether genuinely autogynephilic trans women exist is more complicated.
But I don't really see how this is complicated. To me, it seems pretty simple. We have men who, via their overt displays of sexualized femininity, are communicating as loudly and as clearly as they can that they are willing to scour the depths of 4chan to find whatever hypno-gifts they can to reinforce this hypersexualized, reductive, sexist notion of womanhood. They are...
Wait, what? Gifts? What?
It's not on the screen properly.
Scouring
It's like-
4chan for gifts? Like, why do you know so much about this? What's his history? Sissy hypnosis is probably what he's talking about. Like, this is your world, dude. This is a hyper niche situation. You're complaining about people who are on 4chan scouring 4chan for gifts to support being trans. What? He's complaining about gifts. He's defending womanhood. Real women against people on the internet with hypno gifts. Does he think they work?
That's from the R Traps Gay video, I think. Of course, Babka knows exactly what clip a particular ContraPoints thing is from. Classic.
And yet when some biological male starts
Bro,
saying, hey,
you reviewed all those videos too. Don't you act like you weren't there. You were there. I feel like he's slipping into a suit. Like, come on. Come on. Hold on. Come on. Listen, I'm not gonna let you go quietly into the good night.
Gynephilia doesn't explain a significant amount of why biological males are coming to identify as trans.
Bro, this is really
they
fucking
would
stupid.
have to convince...
Please pause and look at... asking for it. Bro, what the fuck, dude? What is this guy's deal? It looks like he's like an anti-trans guy, right? King Critical.
King Critical.
Oh, he's going after this Katie Montgomery person.
Trans ideology debunked. Gender critical, pro-trans. 5 reasons I'm not Jewish. Okay, cool. Wow. Trans ally guy. Wow, cool.
How I became gender critical. Oh, he's like a gender critical guy. Okay.
You couldn't tell?
Okay.
I hate this guy.
He's in the mix, I see.
I only want to watch this
Jeremy
guy
Dodger.
when Chud's watching him. Keep him honest. You know? Yeah, he doesn't mention the Jewish one.
Okay, interesting.
Interesting indeed.
Going after Thought Slime. Dude, he's going out. He's got some good targets, that's for sure. Thought Slime. Okay. I like the cut of this guy's jib.
All Contra can manage is a concession that, well, there's always one.
Mildred! Mildred! No! Mildred! Obviously, you know, I'm no Dr. Blanchard. I'm not in the fucking ins and outs of this. But I think that, you know, I think there's some truth to this, yeah. Obviously, people like styling.
The only thing he's saying is like, they're trans women. And then there are men who just are AGP. Like, I get why Chud's coping. I get where it's coming from. I think it needs to, you know, be countered. But yeah, what happened to you?
There's a bit of truth in that. There's a bit of truth in that, isn't there? Yeah, I think, yeah.
And now what?
Like, there's this like trend of, and I know they say it's because trans people can't get normal jobs, which is massively overstated, obviously. There's plenty of trans people that work normal jobs, but there is like a trend, particularly with online trans people, where they kind of pivot towards...
I'm sorry. I just had this image, like he's stating all these random things. Trans people work, you know, looking for clips of Kink at Pride. I just imagine him in like the dark over a laptop, you know, in bed, just like furiously typing, you know, the way that Vyvanse Destiny does, but he's fueled on Gawk, not Vyvanse.
It's like OnlyFans stuff, you know? And it's like, is there something in that?
What do you mean? How many cis people are on OnlyFans? Is OnlyFans known as that site that is like mostly trans? No. If OnlyFans had that many trans people on it, I think it would be known. It would be like Grinder feature type thing.
But all these trans people are wanting to be sexualized as a woman to the point where they set up an OnlyFans account. Is that part of it?
Oh my god, that's crazy. Can someone tell me what the percentages are?
But it does seem like when there's an opportunity to solicit easy sexualized attention being perceived as a woman, that is like lent into, you know?
So regular quote unquote women, they never like being sexualized. Like what kind of like red pill weird shit is this? I mean, it makes sense that like transphobic content and red pill content would go together. But what the fuck is he even watching in his spare time?
Contra does have a few key objections to this idea that autogynephilia explains trans identity. So, first of all, let's talk about the testimony of...
I don't even care to think about this, but it's not possible that gender is just so closely tied to sexuality that's almost always going to be the case. Yeah, there's this argument that, like, what, cis women put a bit of lingerie on, and that's a form of autogynephilia because they like being perceived sexually as a woman.
Yeah.
But the difference there surely is they are a woman, and they don't have to do a load of...
Again, I don't know why Chud is like regress to the point of gender and sex being the same thing. Because he knows all that. He was there too. He was there for the Kink and Pride Twitch poll days, all right? He used to know the difference. I don't know why he's... Unless he has decided that he does think that gender and sex are the same thing. He's building his narrative right now. He's like kind of constructing this aspect of his worldview. So I think it's this is like a pivotal point to be observing.
Because ContraPoints doesn't get enough
right?
I don't want to say hate.
What? What's he about to say?
I don't want to say hate because that makes it sound like I'm advocating for hate, right? But ContraPoints is seen as the one good trans. Do you know?
Bro, ContraPoints got so much hate after the working with Buck Angel that she started drinking again.
And it's like, is she the one good trans? Or is she a wolf in sheep's clothing? Dude,
is she a wolf in sheep's clothing? Oh. I know what's going on here. Do you know what's going on here? You know what's going on here. Why would she be a wolf in sheep's clothing? What makes her a wolf in sheep's clothing in this context? Who's the vulnerable sheep getting eaten? It's Chud. It is Chud. Yes.
So basically, ContraPoints at the start of the BreadTube career did a load of like leftoid shit essentially, and appealed super hard to like leftoid trans people and whatever. And I think as time went on, they've become a bit like crazed by some of the like woke skull types that have come after them, and have now moved to be more like a base trans that says real things about topics. It isn't just, you know, spinning the party line.
The party line,
you know,
spinning the party line. Oh my god, he's too far gone.
There's nothing wrong with Contra, and there's nothing wrong with trans people. Well, look, I'm despite all the jokes and memes one way or another, I'm not, you know, I'm not like a transphobic person. I just think that there's a lot of dishonesty about it from progressives.
I'm not gonna add it like right now, but I feel like we might need this for the future.
Well, look, I'm despite all the jokes and memes one way or another, I'm not, you know, I'm not like a transphobic person. I just think.
And then I just think.
And having previously been caught up in some of that dishonesty and having retarded opinions and said stupid stuff about.
Okay, just because you were grifting doesn't mean everyone else was, okay?
Yeah, sure. I mean, black people do tend to be more trans, like, skeptical, right?
Where the defendant pleads not guilty
Transphobic?
would be unfalsifiable. The reality.
He's not gonna say transphobic anymore? Okay. Cool. This is a bigger switch up than... This is more... this is more of a switch up than I expected. I thought there was gonna be more of like a transition, but... I feel like he's almost ripe. Alright, it's time. This is when he reads my chat and he crashes out for like 10 minutes, okay?
Do you think any of your evolving perspective on trans people has anything to do with being caught sexting a trans person? Is that the real Ico account? Dude, is that actually Ico that's asking that? No. No, I don't think it is.
Hey, Sofa King.
I think what has been far more compelling or open my eyes up to some of this stuff is the realization of the sheer amount of dishonesty that has been presented before me. That's the more compelling.
You can see the chat now.
Like thing that opened my eyes to it, right? Stuff like the puberty blocker thing and the kind of obfuscation around that, the pushing of the idea that there was no issue and there were issues, and if you look at it, it's clear there are issues. What's the other thing as well? The stuff about minors not getting gender confirmation surgery.
He
Right.
knows, though. He knows. He knows that. He knows all of these things. Shut up. He was in Twitch poll forever. Shut up. Come on. He knows all of these things. We gotta find his old... We have to watch an old panel of his talking about this stuff. Because I know. I would have noticed. Very interesting.
Yes, whatever. Call it cope. It's fine.
Yep. I put the chat up there so you can see what they all thought at the time.
You know. Yes, Ico raped me. True. Very true. But yeah, I don't know. I think that there's a lot of dishonesty about it, and I think it takes advantage of someone's good nature. So that, you know, if you do
About
have
kids?
like obviously on the progressive side.
So it's like, okay, what does AGP have to do with minors transitioning? That doesn't have anything to do with minors. That's like talking about adults.
There's going to be more of a tendency to be sympathetic towards people that are kind of downtrodden and hard done by, as a general rule of thumb, right? And I think that, and still happens to this day, that is taken advantage of to push bad ideas, bad science, bad arguments, bad whatever, to people that otherwise, you know, might be a bit more discerning. It's like, well, don't, you know, these people have got it really hard. Don't question them, you know. They've got it really tough. And they're put upon by everyone. And they're the most marginalized people in society.
Again, terminally internet discourse brain. This is like Vosh on his finding the black supremacist arc. You know, while in the midst of BLM and George Floyd, Vosh is like, but this is a bad one.
Put in a position, and also there's a very suffocating culture about it when you move in progressive circles.
It was suffocating for you. You didn't have to like be subsumed by progressives and like, I don't know, just cringe people on the internet. Chud was that guy if you look at old debates. Yeah, he was a woke scold. I swear he was. If you were being fake, then that's you. Isn't anyone's fault, because people hold you to the standards that you set. Okay? That is just what it is. So if you are resentful of your past, grifting, literally, if you are saying that you were suffocated by what you were forced to live within every day, despite having wholeheartedly participated in it, then it's just, yeah, grifting, like faking things is exhausting. But is that their fault?
If you question it, you will experience like negative social consequences for doing so. Like, you will be excised, you'll be like, tremendously put upon by your peers in a very negative way, but even daring to question or talk about anything that is outside the remit of progressive.
That's your fault. It's excruciating to live an inauthentic life. Like, that's why I have the kind of life that I have. I've had different paths. I've been on paths that had a lot of money involved. But I have to be myself at all times. And I'm trying to understand things. But, I existed in the same space. And I navigated with, regardless of, within the context of the mindset that, the context of the discourse, the pandemic discourse, I still stand by everything, I'm sure. Okay, maybe that's too strong. I genuinely stand behind the spirit of the things that I was saying, at least.
Perspectives about trans ideology. Like, yeah, dude, it is like a cult. Yes, it is very much like a cult. It is like a cult. Because it's like people get made cults. Examples of. Like, dude,
and that's what this is why I made the thumbnail. That's why this is the thumbnail today.
But I remember a long time ago, there was this guy who had a take about transhumanism, to put it simply, right? I wish I could remember the name of the person, but it was 5 years ago at this point, right? And I was in the midst of all these fucking soy lefties, progressive, trans people, whatever, right? And this person had a take that was controversial about trans issues related to transhumanism. And I remember, hearing this conversation, and I don't think I even covered it on stream because it was a bit too in-depth and I didn't know enough about it. But, I woke up one day, and it was literally like the fucking communist fucking thing. You were literally excised. This person got, taken out of some fucking Discord community, and there was a post that was put out, added to everyone. This person has been removed for having, harmful views on trans people.
That's not the only community. That wasn't the only community. Yeah, you gotta shake those ones off. Okay. This is your choice. Okay. Yeah, it is very complicated to navigate. True. You gotta walk on eggshells a lot of times. True. But you don't have to, act like you have a completely different ideology.
Right? It was whoa, what the fuck? And that acted as a bit of a...
Yeah, he's basically saying, in order to... he's just saying... He's saying that, it was a grift, essentially, right? He had to... it's not that he changed. It's that he was oppressed at the time. You know what I mean? Doesn't everyone hate when someone's being fake? Especially if it's the person you're watching talking about their takes all day long.
Bit of a warning, really. Like, disappeared. Yeah, exactly. And you saw stuff like that, and you know, it's. I feel kind of ashamed about it looking back on it. I feel very, embarrassed, and it's very cringeworthy for me to think about, or even to talk about, because of where I am now. It's so crazy to think that I would be like that then. But back then, my route into doing this was, knocking about with progressive lefty people. So
that was a choice.
It's like I was trapped having to state that opinion about a topic, and
that just means, okay, you were trapped in having to lie to fake it. Oh, come on. That's what it is, I guess. Like, bro, no, you were following the money and the people around you, okay? You did that. That was also you. You did that thing. You were the guy lying about his takes. Okay, that's fine. I'm glad that I know now. I'm glad that I know that you know, too. Like, you're not a victim in this. If you lie about who you are, and that you can't get mad when people expect you to be someone different. But I feel like he's really, like, into this. But the guys that he wants to, like, be one of, they're not gonna like this, sexting a trans person thing. So he's trying to come up with trying to come up with an origin story that's less embarrassing.
I guess, and that's why, I probably did have, it sounds a bit gay to say it, right?
Oh, God.
Because I wasn't actually in a cult, But in some ways, yeah, it is a cult. You were in a cult. Cult of whatever you want to call it. That's what it was. Other people excised in order to gesture power towards you. I don't know.
Here's the thing, too. There are all different kinds of cults. I bring this example up often. Straight edge. When I first entered the world, the public school world instead of the evangelical only world, the first kids that I met were straight edge kids. Okay? Straight edge is when you don't drink, smoke, or do drugs. Some people don't do caffeine, but then they have decaf things that has caffeine. It's very silly, right? But it was like a part of a scene. It was cool. It was like, I have a straight edge tramp stamp. Straight edge was like a big part of the scene that I was in. And I had a lot of fun with my friends. But they were all obsessed with being straight edge. Especially the dudes. All the dudes were obsessed with talking about being straight edge. And I don't even remember how the fuck you could talk about something that you don't do as an ideology. This guy wanted to disown his parents for drinking wine. Okay? I jokingly said that I would put his name on how'syouredge.com, which was, the list of people who had broken edge. And he got so serious. He looked violent. He was like, I would never fucking talk to you ever. Like, he was so mad. Anything can be an identity. It just is like, you're just telling us the story of your story. You're just telling us your story. And it's like, okay, and everyone has a story. Everyone has outside influences. You bent to them.
What other signs are there? We need Mama Max on this.
Off depressed people.
Again.
Cult. You were in a cult.
Speaking of Mama Max, once again, I will say that, Chud and many of us have made fun of the minors who were taken in by, the werewolf vampire cult,
I'm a victim of Camden Gerard, dude.
you know? Like, oh, how could you not have any, like, personal responsibility? Like, you know, kinds of things. But then, like, you can do that and then also be, like, in your 30s and say that you were groomed into being attracted to a trans person by all the lefties and trans people around you. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, just say he can't say the words though because he hasn't transitioned enough. You know what I mean? He doesn't have the audience that like hates woke people, like unironically in like a boomer way. Like people here are like, you know, they're definitely transphobic people, and homophobic people in there, but a lot of people are just memeing, right? And they would not appreciate, they would make fun of him for saying woke, you know? Like if he started calling things woke, then they would mock him. So he can't say it yet. He's trying to find his footing. Oh, here.
Is this...
Did someone send him this link? Or did he pull it up himself? I actually do want to know, because when I saw him pull this up, I was like, oh god.
I feel like we are kind of tapping into Mama Max a bit here. Milieu control is a term popularized by psychiatrist Robert J. Lifton to describe tactics to control environment and human communication through the use of social pressure and group language. Dude, this is actually this is actually sending shivers down my spine. Literal shivers reading this.
Guys. Whose fault is it that you lied about who you are? Why is it there? Why are the cringe people, whatever you can say, let's say they're super uber cringe and woke policey and whatever, okay? Why does that extend to all trans people now, suddenly? It's because this isn't the brainwashing, the agenda. That's not the issue. The issue is the deep, deep shame that he has for having been sexually attracted to a trans person. At least one. Literal shivers. He's just reported so many things. ContraPoints is a wolf in sheep's clothing. Okay? Brainwashing. So many things. It's very interesting. Like, this is bullshit. Like, I don't think, like, come on. I don't think that he should get away with this. You know, without, like, and by that I mean, like, without criticism, without, you know, recognition of what it is, which is cope. Like, find an argument. Give a actual, like, aside from saying you were brainwashed, because I mean, brainwashing, whatever. Like, obviously, he mentioned, like, the agenda and stuff. Like, he unironically is getting ingratiated into a cult right now. Like, he's just watching these kinds of videos and adopting their rhetoric. Perhaps in the same way that he did that when he was, claiming to be a leftist and that he was pro-trans rights.
Like, this is exact, dude. Mama Max was right all along.
No.
Dogma.
He was not. Mama Max was not talking about cringe trans people in Discord grooming 30-something-year-old men. He's just looking at a random Wikipedia. He doesn't even know what he's talking. He doesn't know what he's even talking about. He's just seeing random brainwashing. Yeah. Dogma. Yeah. That's what happened to me. Okay, so I say in chat, Chud, are you saying you were groomed into being attracted to a trans person? At Chudlogic. What's his answer gonna be?
I don't, you know, obviously I thought the things I did and I said the things I did. I was an utter retard for doing so. And it's my own fault for knocking about with people who then, and I then allow myself to be influenced into certain retarded perspectives.
Then I say it, Chud.
Chud was it? Yeah, guys, it was a sex cult, okay? But yeah, I take responsibility for my own actions.
Do you, though? I don't feel like you do. I'm gonna be real. Do we all feel like he's taking responsibility? We call out people who are bullshitting about their positions all the time. But it's like, come on. Come on. What are... The way that Chud feels about the trans people putting themselves within his eyesight and being themselves, and he feels this revulsion. That's how I feel about people trying to rewrite history. Okay? This is a part of your lore. We will not forget. I will not let you disappear into this brainwashing narrative without comment. You know.
Thoughts, beliefs, whatever. But I do think...
He ignores it for a
is
bit.
absurd to think about now. But yeah, looking back now, it's like ridiculous to... Like, dude, fucking Demon Mama. Demon Mama was like...
He's ignoring my
a
chat.
terrible retard who had awful opinions about trans issues and consistently was just wrong about a bunch of things. You know what I mean? And it did get to a point where we weren't really talking anymore, but we weren't like, you know, broken off or something like that.
What things? Demon Mama turned out to be bad person who lets her pedophile partner around minors. Yeah, he used to like hang out and play video games with Demon Mama.
That's why Vadim cried. Well, all of that is rooted in me at the time knowing Demon Mama. So I don't know.
He's ignoring my question.
I'd obviously have a different tack now. How much did that play into it, I wonder? Anyway, very awkward and cringe to think about now, to be honest.
The trans identity doesn't actually exist, and as such, there is no difference. We're not claiming that autogynephiles are disingenuously co-opting the idea of trans identity for nefarious ends.
I'm like,
Rather,
don't let
we're
Chud not
claiming
answer that.
trans identity is being used by these people in a manner consistent with what it fundamentally is. On the subject of self-testimony, a large part of this video is focused on the question of whether Contra is autogynephilic.
But I'm not like, oh yeah, I have tits now, that's so hot.
Bro, that's so true, dude. Dude, in another world I could have been tipster.
How do I make money?
Yes, Aiko, I've seen your question. I know you're very thirsty at the moment, okay? I'm not interested in discussing my personal interests like that, okay? I was happy to answer the first one because it was an interesting question relevant to the topic, but I'm not getting into that, okay? Nice try.
I mean, it's kind of hot.
That is incredibly not a no. Yeah, nice try. That's a funny way of saying no. True.
Well, I think it's kind of dumb that this video ends by saying, hey, I really didn't gynephilia as it relates to
So he just gets a bunch. Chaser, gawk, gawk, gawk. Now chat, silence is a yes. People are saying that. Will he say anything? Will he respond? Will he say, no, that's ridiculous? A man in his 30s getting groomed on the internet by trans people on Discord? Stop. Like, how could anyone take him seriously when talking about rape reviews? Yeah, silence is confirmation. When you look at what he's trying to question, like the aspects where he's like trying to kind of like, he's feeling it out. He's in the feeling things out stage. it's interesting to see where he's going with it.
That to admit you are an autogynephile would be to admit you are not a woman.
So a lot of trans women, I guess.
Yes. Oh my god, yes. Yes.
Oh my god, yes,
Okay,
what?
he's a-
What? Who can? What are you? Why are you like, yes, queen? Yes, based. Go off. Go off. Why are you so go off about this, Chud? Like, is it the ones that the transes that he's not attracted to that behave themselves are like the good real transes, right? But then the transes he is attracted to, those are the AGP. They're not real women.
Explaining it way better than I could have ever done.
What he's
Because if you
explaining?
admit-
Why do you have? Why do you have? What are you trying? Why is this speaking to him? Like, what's the point of sending nudes to anyone as a woman? Are you just doing it to comply with the desires of a man? Is that why you do it? Or are you having fun too? He's got this like very really weirdly puritanical idea of sexuality and like women's sexuality. Can you play his laugh? Has he always been like super puritanical? I don't know. Or not just puritanical, but like red pill regarding like women and sex and dating and stuff. It's like, here's the thing, like, okay, you're not just cringe, but you're wrong. Like, that's wrong. This is the good news. Don't you want women to like sex that you have with them? Right? Don't you want to like, or do you want to drag them kicking and screaming on the brink of rape? Why would you want to have sex with someone when they don't like it? Do you think no one will like it?
For somehow making you a woman. They call it gender euphoria. Yes, exactly. Okay. Right, but this is the dude. This is
What
the
do you want to
fundamental
do?
problem, isn't it?
What do you want to do about adults alone engaging with themselves and other adults, and that's it? Why do you care?
They've got a more expansive understanding of gender. Well, yeah, they might have a more expansive understanding of gender, but that doesn't mean that they're right about that. That doesn't mean that they're correct. They've just got obviously a lot more broader, wider understanding and belief about what gender is, thus allowing some of this stuff to exist. It doesn't mean it's the right thing.
Some of what to exist? The guy who in this video is literally like saying that he does not believe in any trans validity at all.
They're defining gender in a way that allows them to be unquestionably accepted as a woman, which benefits their, potentially their sexuality, right?
So he's saying that what if they're getting off? He's literally doing, oh, this is even worse than RGR sandals, wearing sandals in public when your partner has a foot fetish, but there are kids around. Chud is saying that there these men, non-valid trans women. He's saying that they are going around trying to trick you into thinking and having to treat them like a woman, including being attracted to them, so they can get off to it. That's what this argument is.
But a woman cannot be AGP because
Why?
they're a woman. And even if they elicit sexual pleasure about being perceived as female, they're female. They were born female. The point is that a man cannot... you know, a male cannot be perceived as a female because they're male. So
therefore, men cannot be women. Males cannot be women. Is that where we're going?
to go through a medical process with which to best look like a female so they can be sexualized as a female.
Again, finasteride.
It's like a quirk, isn't it? It's a quirk. It's a quirk of your thought process. Because as a man, right? I mean, dude, I'm obviously a layman, to be clear. Okay?
Yeah. All forever.
I'm a fucking layman on this stuff, right?
Also,
but it would
incurious. He's not curious. He's coping. He's not interested in it in general. He's interested in finding, like, things to support his developing narrative. He is more critical and analytical in rape reviews.
To me, as a layman, as a retard talking about this on the internet, okay, it would make sense to me that a man would, as a matter of course, would want to be perceived sexually as a man because that's their role in like a sexual dynamic, is being masculine, right?
Oh my god.
Whereas a woman,
I don't know what to say. He knows the arguments, and he's trying to find his way. He's trying to talk his way around them.
if that's normal for women, then how do you draw the divide between AGP and a trans woman having the normal experience of a woman in a sexual dynamic? Well, a trans woman isn't a woman, are they? That's the point.
Oh, cool.
They're a simulacra of a woman. They're not actually a woman. You know, this is the fucking progressive brain rot of this terminology.
Oh, cool.
To argue that a trans woman is a woman. Well, they're not a woman.
Wow.
They're a performance of what their perception of what a woman is.
Wow. That's pretty rough. You can say all these things, sure. Let's say yes to all these things, okay? Right? That means you were attracted to someone that you say is a man. None of this will change the fact that you gooned with a trans person.
Lefties need to accept this and move the fuck on already. The cheap and easy validation for calling people transphobic is played out and gay. Yeah. I mean, you know, it was always a political...
Are we not calling this transphobic?
I think I spoke about this on Adam and Stitch ages ago. But it's like, a trans woman is a woman was always a political statement. And there was this kind of denial, I think, we were talking about at the time, that it was like a political statement. Well, no, it is a political statement because you're trying to push forward the idea that trans women should be accepted and treated like a regular woman in society. But then it moved on from that to become, no, trans women are women, no questions asked. That's the end of it.
Alone.
Don't discuss it. Don't dispute it. That is what it is.
The answer is that you let people live if they're not hurting anyone. All right?